This is a lecture from OpenTuition. To benefit from the lecture, you should download the free lecture notes from opentuition.com.
Right, let's go through and work an extract, if you like, from a 20-mark section C, preparation of individual company accounts style question. Okay, because remember, in that question, you'll be given the requirement to prepare the financial statement. So, statement of financial position, statement of profit or loss. You'll be given a TB, and then you'll be given the additional information. Okay. Now, the key to doing well in any of these questions is that when you get the additional information, you need to look at the easier bits first. Okay. If you try and do the harder bits, yeah, you're going to give yourself a headache, and that will be a massive headache at the end of the exam when you've run out of time and you've failed. Okay. So what have we got? Let's read the requirement first. So right at the bottom, it says extract from the statement of profit or loss and other comprehensive income for this business Candy for the year ended September 2014. Get used to it. It's not always going to be December year-end dates here. It's September. And it also wants us to look at the position statement at that same date. Here, the focus, and rightly so, is just on PPE. Okay, we're not worried about anything else. Okay. So it says the extracts from the trial balance. So again, like a normal section C, individual company accounts preparation, you've got the TB. That's the TB at the end of the year. So you can see we've got some land and buildings. We've got some plant and equipment. And then you've got the accumulated depreciation. Just note that's at the 1st of October 2013. So that's the opening accumulated depreciation balance. It seems, and rightly so at the bottom, that no depreciation has yet been charged. Okay, so we will need to go through there and record that depreciation. In the exam, just note, it does say that it is charged to cost of sales. So within your analysis of expenses working that we've seen in a previous chapter, any depreciation you calculate goes in that cost of sales column alongside opening inventory, purchases, closing inventory, and anything else that you're instructed to put in there. Okay. So what we've got effectively, before we read into it any further, let's just look at the financial statement. So statement of financial position, statement of profit or loss, and other comprehensive income. On the SFP, there will be some PPE, and in the statement of profit or loss, there will be some depreciation, won't there? Okay. There could be other things going on, but that's just my focus for the time being. We then need some workings. So what we've got there is that we'll have to do a working for land and buildings. And then we will also require a working for plant and equipment. Okay, so give yourself a good few lines for each of those. Okay. And then this is where exam technique comes in. It's really important. Okay. Just read that information. Read the big paragraph first. Stop. It's too big, too complicated, too confusing. Whoa. You know, just a quick skim read of it. You get the gist of it, and it's all about property and land and buildings. And there's just too much going on it. So, plant and equipment. Let's deal with that first. Much more straightforward. It just says plant and equipment is depreciated at 12.5%, reducing balance. Wow, couldn't be any easier. So I can take my cost of 58,500. I can take my accumulated depreciation of 34,500 and work out the depreciation. It couldn't be any more straightforward. So I've got my cost. Is it there? of 58,500. I have my accumulated depreciation brought forward, which was 34,500, which gives me, is it 24,000 as my carrying value at the start of the year. I then go through and apply the depreciation. It's reducing balance depreciation. So you apply the depreciation to the carrying value. So is it there 12.5%? 12.5% of 24 works out, is it as 3,000. 24 less 3 is 21,000. We've got 1.5 marks. Okay, so 1 mark maybe for the depreciation, half a mark for the carrying value. We've got 1.5 marks for stuff that's very easy. That's just financial accounting knowledge brought forward, isn't it? 1.5 very easy marks, whereby you've got somebody who's there faffing about within the exam, looking at that first big paragraph, seeing that there's a revaluation, losing their head, getting really stressed and panicky, and you're just sat there going, yeah, check me out. Okay, I've got the very easy marks. I'll have a look at the revaluation, but I'm not going to panic. I'm not going to stress because I know that I'm well on the way to passing this question. Okay, so as it stands, I know that the depreciation that we have, I'll just put a small bracketed working, is that there of 3,000 this year, and whatever there'll be for land and buildings, who cares? And then on PPE, we have there, is it your plant and equipment at 21,000. Okay, and we will add on whatever value we get, is it there for the buildings, the land and buildings. Strap yourselves in. Here we go. So what have we got? We've got a little bit of information in the TB about the land and buildings and the accumulated depreciation for them, as well as the cost. And it says the price of property has increased significantly in recent years. And on the 1st of October 2013, so is that the start of the year, they decided to revalue the land and buildings. Okay. The directors accepted the report of an independent surveyor. So when you're making the revaluation, one small point to note is that you can't do it internally. It has to be done externally by an expert. Okay. Who valued the land at 8 and the buildings at 39. Remember, land. Do we depreciate land? Yes, no. No, we don't. Okay, land is that asset that we do not ever depreciate. Okay. So the 8 million will not be depreciated, but we will depreciate the 39 million. Okay. The remaining life, so we're told the remaining life at the date of the revaluation is there's 15 years, which brings in some easy marks. Okay. Chris, are there easy marks? There are. If you can break the question down into smaller, more manageable bits and use your knowledge. You know, everyone's focusing on the revaluation. Oh, what's the gain? What's the carrying value? Well, this revaluation took place at the start of the year. We know that we take the fair value at that date and depreciate it over the remaining life. Well, hang on a moment. What we can do here is we can take that fair value, is it of, I think, 39,000, and divide it by the 15 years. Okay. I think if you do that on your calculator, does that come down? Is it to 2,600? Now, I'm not saying that that's very easy, but that's, in the grand scheme of things, with everything that's going on, that's pretty straightforward, isn't it? And what you can do is you can add those two together, and you've got the 5,600, okay, giving you your depreciation for the year. Boom! There you go. You've got 2 marks in total for the depreciation, half a mark there for the PPE. You're well on your way to passing this question. If you're struggling for time, move on, okay? If not, have an attempt at working the carrying value of the PPE, and then also what the gain will be within OCI. Remember, the depreciation is within profit or loss. The gain is in OCI. Okay. So there's my plant and equipment. What have we got for land and buildings? 4-column approach, wasn't it, if we had a revaluation? Remember, we looked at the narrative, the historic cost, the revaluation amount, and then the amount within the reserves. Okay. What do we go through and look at first? Well, just take it chronologically. Remember, we've got your cost, and accumulated depreciation brought forward. Those figures there are taken from the trial balance. So here what we've got is the TB figures are 55 and 20. So my cost, 55,000, accumulated depreciation gives me 20, which will give me my carrying value at the start of the year, which was the first, was it, of October 2013. So is that there is 35,000. Okay. Remember, we are looking at land and building. So even though it gives us separate figures for land and for buildings, if you add them together, you've got the 8 million plus the 39. Does that give you 47 million? So the total revaluation is there at 47. So therefore, the amount that goes into the reserves at the date of revaluation is 12,000. So that there is the gain. Okay, the gain in the year. The gain in the year is 12,000, isn't it? Okay. Oh, yeah, that's hard, isn't it? That's a real challenge. But the more you practice them, the easier it will become. And the good news is that these revaluations appear regularly within the exam. So if you can nail them, you're getting some of the harder bits within the question. Don't forget to get the easy bits first. Okay, don't get too confident. You're like, right, yeah, come on, let's go through there and take on the hard bits first. No, doesn't matter how good you can get at some of the hard bits. Do the easier bits first. Excellent. So then what we've got is the depreciation. We've worked out the depreciation already, haven't we? I think we did that before. We said we took, was it the fair value of the building, which was the 39, and depreciated it over the 15 years, wasn't it, the remaining life? So that there's 2,600. We've then got, is it the carrying value at 44? 400 being the carrying value at the 30th of September 2014. Okay. Is there a reserve transfer within this question that we need to play with? The examiner has taken pity on us And it says that we do not make an annual reserve transfer to retain profits to reflect the realization of the revaluation gain. Okay, so what we've got then is that there's no adjustment for any excess depreciation. So the reserve is there at 12,000. The carrying value is at 44,400. Okay, there we go. So what we've got there is I've got all the information. I can put in the PPE at 44,400, which gives me, is it 65,400? And then also we've got my revaluation reserve at 12,000. Okay, excellent. So I think the key bits that you can take from that question is that overall, it's not easy. Look at the scribblings that we've done there. There's lots of information, but even though overall it's quite difficult, particularly the revaluation, there are some easier parts to it, aren't there? We were able to go through there and focus on the plant and equipment first, which we said was really straightforward to work out the depreciation. If you can't depreciate an asset, reducing balance, don't bother going to the exam. Give up. Okay, because if you can't do that, you're not going to be able to do much else of the rest of the exam. So get that easier bit first. Even then, within some of the more challenging aspects to do with this revalued asset, try and get the depreciation on that revalued asset first. And then once you've done that, have a go at working out some of the more challenging aspects to do there with the carrying value at the end of the year that you see on the SFP, the gain that goes through OCI, and then if there is any reserve transfer, it's up to you. Give it a go, but if not, move on. Okay, brilliant. So that's everything at this point in time to do with IS 16 and property, plant and equipment. We know what we're looking at in terms of the cost. We know how to depreciate it. We know how to revalue it up and down. And we've also seen a little bit there of how it can be applied within a Section C style question for an individual company set of accounts. There's only one thing to do now, isn't there? Practice. The more you practice, the easier it will become. Good luck.